For the invocation by, I guess, myself, since Mr. Simpson's not here, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Father God, we just thank you for this opportunity and that you've given us to represent the citizens of this county, and we ask that you give us the guidance and the know-how to make the right decisions that will benefit the citizens. We thank you for the great EMS and fire departments and sheriff's department that we have that do their utmost up and beyond to protect our county citizens against the disasters that might befall them and to keep our streets safe. We thank you for all the county employees and the work that they do, from the maintenance to the convenience center to the people in the office that keeps this county running. Father, we just ask you to bless our nation, keep us safe, be with the situation overseas that we're dealing with in Iran, and bring us home safe this evening from this meeting, for we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next up is setting the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as submitted?
So moved.
Reverend Jones has moved to approve the agenda as submitted. Is there a second? Second. Mr. Hips has seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, the agenda is approved as submitted. First up is the citizens' comment period. This time is provided by the board to allow citizens the opportunity to address the board on issues of importance to the citizen. No individual citizen shall be permitted to address the board for more than 3 minutes. And Mr. Zabel, you're up. Please state your name and address.
My name is John Zabel, and I live at 5353 Wildway Road. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. You may remember me from previous meetings where I discussed the conditional use permit issued to the Rifleman's Resort. Tonight, I'm not going to discuss that. I'm going to discuss the Valley Link power project. One of the proposed routes runs right through my property as well. I want to thank the board for passing the resolution opposing the Valley Link project. This makes Appomattox one of 8 of the 9 counties that have passed similar resolutions. Only Campbell County has not passed a resolution opposing it. 3 of these 8 counties, Buckingham, Goochland, and Louisa, have also pledged $250,000 apiece to form a legal fund and fight the project more than words. I would recommend that the board consider taking this next step and pledge funds that can be used to fight the project. How much is up to the members, but this will show the citizens of Appomattox that you understand their concerns and are willing to fight for their land and rights. I also realize that the counties opposed to this project are forming a coalition to fight the effort, and several grassroots efforts like the Friends of Buckingham, Virginia, have formed to provide information and recommendations. If Appomattox County has not been part of these efforts, I recommend that the county officially become a part of these efforts. Last, I wanted to mention one thing that I've already brought up to the county administrator's office. When the proposed power line leaves my land, it travels north, directly through the Rifleman's Resort project, which you guys support. I think as the engineering plan for this project is presented to the county, this needs to be considered before building begins. Thank you for your time.
And thank you for speaking out. And if I recall, at the time we made the resolution, we did pledge funds for attorney fees. No, we didn't? I thought we did. Well, I stand corrected. All right, next on the appearances. These are scheduled times provided by the board to allow citizens and organizations outside the county government to discuss matters of importance with the board. Ms. Kelly Hancock, Deputy Director of Planning, Central Virginia Planning District Commission, requested to appear before the board to present Central Virginia Safety Action Plan. The CSSAP documents the roadways and areas within the region that have the highest number of serious and fatal accidents, establish performance measures, and provide and projected recommendations to improve safety for all users along the region's roadway. The plan was developed through an extensive stakeholder engagement process and aligns with the Commonwealth Transportation Board adopted Virginia 2022-2026 Strategic Highway Safety Plan. Following the presentation by Ms. Hancock, please consider adopting the attached resolution in support of the Central Virginia Safety Action Plan. Ms. Hitchcock.
All right. Well, thank you for having me here this evening to present quickly on the Safety Action Plan. So the Central Virginia PDC, on behalf of the localities within that region, applied for the US DOT Safe Streets and Roads for All program. It's a federal program, and a $280,000 award was made to the PDC that was matched by $70,000 in local funds. And why did we apply for these dollars to address safety? And it's because of those unfortunate statistics. On average, 36 people die in traffic crashes and 280 are seriously injured each year in Central Virginia. Between 2018 and 2023, 220 people died and 1,680 were seriously injured. And that is defined as by an accident where someone heads to a hospital. Within Appomattox County, of those 220 people that died, 21 were in Appomattox County, and 112 of those 1,680 accidents resulted in Appomattox residents being seriously injured. So the purpose of the Safety Action Plan is to address those accidents, those fatal and serious accidents, not the full range of accidents, not the 21,126 accidents, not that those aren't important, but this isn't looking at fender benders or those type of accidents. It's those that result in a death or a fatal and serious accident. And so the Safety Action Plan was developed according to federal regulations. So whether you're in Topeka, Kansas, or whether you're in North Carolina or here in Central Virginia, the methodology and the makeup of the Safety Action Plans are the same. The funding here that we received, again, was from Federal Highway. We received funding from VDOT and Federal Highway because through our work program, we had the ability to fund this program. And what you see there is the Safety Action Plan, and then you have what's called a safe system approach. And that is an approach that people need information so that they don't have access. People make mistakes, so the more you can give them information, a solid methodology. We have smart cars. Those are part of technology to reduce accidents. When you go down the road, you have that rumble that you hear, you know, when you're on 460 and bum, 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 and you sort of lift up to pay attention. Those are safety initiatives. And so the plan is broken down into chapters. The second chapter is really where you have safety analysis, where we talk about the details of where accidents are taking place, what type of accidents are taking place, and the conditions behind those accidents. And then, so the plan is data-driven. Of those accidents that have taken place, 50% of those fatal and serious accidents happen on less than 8% of our region's roadways. So that gives you a way to target to where most of those accidents are taking place. Not all of them, obviously. And then within Appomattox, 52% of those fatal and serious accidents are taking place on 5% of the roadways. And for Appomattox, because of your size and your lower population, we also included those K accidents, those A accidents, someone went to the hospital, and then B accidents, meaning those accidents where someone later reported that they had a follow-up. Because again, the numbers that we have there. But again, it's 5%, it's called a high injury network. And that was developed in the Safety Action Plan. It provides that data to focus on strategies that are very specific and targeted to that goal of the Safety Action Plan. And there's those safety, the high injury network are those red locations, segments, and intersections that you can find within the plan. Within Appomattox County, our engineers, EPR and Kimley Horn, looked at site-specific locations and provided recommendations where we were seeing elements of those high injury networks, and where Appomattox County, in consultation with schools and public safety, and VDOT, and your planning staff had identified areas that they wanted us to look at specifically. And then The safety action plan also takes those projects that are already within the VDOT 6-year improvement program and breaks those down within the high injury network as well. And all this information is provided in Chapter 5 and Chapter 2 of the safety action plan. And then the safety action plan also has goals and strategies that are general in nature. You know, reduce speeding and improve intersection safety, improve road infrastructure to promote safety, coordinate with public safety so that we have uniform messaging along the region on how people should approach and be responsible in their movement around schools. So all of those are within the safety action plan. And again, why we're here tonight is to look at that leadership commitment that is required by USDOT if any locality would, at one point, wants to apply for additional federal dollars. And the safety action plan, again, was developed in coordination and consultation with Appomattox County, town, school staff, incorporates local stakeholder input that we directly heard from citizens, supports county's comprehensive plan and articulated goals, and supports existing and future identified county infrastructure projects. And the policy commitment that you have in that resolution and what the PDC board and the TPO board approved is a commitment for the goal to reduce fatal and serious accidents by 50% by 2045. But it's important to point out that it is a goal. No locality that passes a resolution to seek that goal to reduce fatal and serious accidents, you are not held accountable for meeting that goal. It has no impact on smart scale applications or HSIP applications that you would put forward, but it does articulate the goal. And it matches what the state of Virginia's Commonwealth Transportation Board has made within their goal to reduce fatal and serious accidents. The wording is the same. And the goal also coordinates with VDOT's 2022-2026 Strategic Highway Safety Plan, which is the foundation by which your localities apply for HSIP funding. And I welcome any questions that you may have at this time.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Hibbs?
The first one on the list, US 460 and Stage Road. Are you familiar with the intersection on here?
Yes.
What is the suggestion there? Is the suggestion that you're not going to be able to cross over 460 to make a left towards Appomattox?
I basically had the same question. What is RIRO? I'm having trouble visualizing right in, right out.
And right out. And these are recommendations. These are not, by passing the safety action plan, you are not, that's a great question, you are not saying that these recommendations that came out of what the engineers saw have to be done, are going to be done, applied for. These are the observations that the engineers noted could be solutions at some of these locations. But right in and right out is that's right. It's a limited access process. But again, it's not to say that by having what is the site-specific recommendations, passing the safety action plan does not suggest that the board agrees with all these recommendations. We just want you to know that that was part of what was done within the safety action plan.
When you say engineer, and apologies if I missed it because I was distracted by that first line trying to figure out how that would work. Whose engineer is this?
It was Kimley Horn. Kimley Horn, we had the consultants. EPR was the consultant that did the larger safety action plan, and then that subcontracted Kimley Horn was a consultant that looked specifically at some of the intersections and locations that were recommended by staff, and also we're in that high injury network. But again,
Yeah.
these recommendations are not, the recommendation parts are not you are not held to agreeing with all these recommendations by approving the safety action plan.
What's unique about that stretch of road is it's bad on both ends. I know because I live on it. But if I'm understanding this right, that would limit the access to 460 off of that road, because you have to cross 460 and make a left to go towards Appomattox. And so, it's hard for me to understand that recommendation, but.
Mr. Chairman,
Simpson?
if I may, I think the operant question here would be, was this report developed in consultation in accordance with the VDOT Lynchburg resident engineer? I mean, have they looked at it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Uh,
But again, each one of the recommendations that came with the locations was looked at, but it is not to the degree that, say, a project pipeline or a
Right.
smart scale application was.
These are potentials, it's not necessarily an adopted policy position.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
I think, those are legitimate concerns, and that would be a real impact on the folks who live on Stage Road, but we might want to take that up with VDOT as opposed to not adopting this.
I think I'd be way down the road, because as I understand it right now, she's presenting the report, and what's requiring from us is a resolution that, yeah, we accept these ideas, and if we do that, then we'll be eligible for some federal funds. Is that the way I'm interpreting it?
That is correct. That a region that passes the safety action plan, again, essentially it is that the resolution to seek the goal to reduce fatal and serious accidents, and then it provides an opportunity, should a county want to apply for those federal funds through this program, that you're able to do that directly.
Because I think I mentioned the first time you were here that, yeah, these recommendations are fine and dandy, but unless we have money for the sheriff to enforce and the other people, VDOT, to implement and make changes, the report means nothing. It's a feel-good report.
Well, I'm going to not agree with you 100% there.
Reverend Jones, were you going to ask a question?
I know.
Yep. All righty. Well, gentlemen, you have the resolution. Any other questions? You have the resolution in your packet. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution as submitted?
Mr. Chairman, I make that
Reverend
motion.
Jones. Okay, Reverend Jones made the motion to adopt the resolution as submitted. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Simpson is seconded. Mr. Wolfskill. Mr. Hips.
Aye.
Reverend Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Simpson.
Aye.
I vote aye also. We are now part of the safety plan for the U.S. DOT Safe Streets and Roads program. That'd be the way to put it?
Sir. Thank you for your time.
Yep, and thank you for your presentation. Hope we weren't too hard on you. All right, next up, Ms. Vicki Phelps, Treasurer, is requested to appear before the board to discuss tax ticket issues and request a new tax date. Mr. Wilskill, you have something for the board? Ms. Phelps?
Yes, good evening, and thank you for allowing me just a little bit of time to go over the real estate and personal property tax tickets. I am sure most of you already know or have heard or have been asked, where are the tax tickets, because they're not out yet. They are now at the printer, and they are waiting, and I had asked them to hold off. We did get the program and issue resolved as of Friday of last week, and it was just an issue with real estate. There was never an issue with personal property taxes. I'm not sure what the issue was, because I'm not a programmer, but BAI, my software people, have assured me it's resolved, and I have rerun tickets and they are matching up with the Commissioner of Revenue's book, so I feel confident that they have resolved the issue. The tickets are there. I'm just waiting for, I had asked them to hold off to see if I could speak with you about extending the due date. Usually, air tax tickets are due June 5th and December 5th. I am required by state law to give 14 days, I'm sorry, prior to the due date, and that would be like Friday. And I really feel like I would like to give constituents more time to get in and to get these tickets paid. It would still be within the same fiscal year if we can, I was hoping to see if you would agree to June 22nd, which that's after a holiday weekend. The 19th is the day that we're closed, and then they would have all weekend, and then the 22nd, that Monday, to get their tax tickets and their funds in, and still be within the same fiscal year. But, and if you agree to that, then the tickets are ready to go out, and I will go back to the office and let them know. But I just wanted to speak with you in regards to that.
Is there a motion to change the due date to as recommended by the treasurer?
I've taken a number of calls. I don't know if everybody else did too, but I wholeheartedly support moving the due date to June 22nd.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Wolfskill's made the motion to move the tax due date to June 22nd. Is there a second?
Second.
Reverend Jones has seconded. Discussion? Hearing none, call the vote. Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Reverend Jones? Aye. Mr. Wolfskill? Mr. Phipps? I vote aye also. June 22nd is the due date for the tax.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ms. Phelps, for all your work you do. All right. Ms. Morton, registrar, wants to speak to us about voting precincts.
Yes, good evening. So it came to my attention during early voting at the last election that the Quail Run wedding venue, which we had just agreed to move to, is up for sale. And this is obviously very disconcerting. I spoke with Ms. Hayes about it. She is not eager to sell. She doesn't know whether, it's all going to fly. She's willing to live up to her all of her commitments that she has made. She would like to try to live up to the commitment to us, and to the point where she talked with her realtor about insisting that it become a voting precinct, and we don't believe you can do that realistically. So unfortunately, I'm here to ask you to rescind it and talk with Mr. Popovich about having a public hearing in June to reenact the previous ordinance and keep it at Oakville Rotan Club. In addition, I've since heard we've now had another election since the county has worked on the parking lot at Oakville, and I've heard very good things, and I appreciate you working on that because the parking is much better there, which was one of our primary concerns. It was really for why we wanted to move. And so we think that we should stay where we are. I have not done anything to enact this, given the fun election we just had about redistricting. I was not allowed to do anything to enact this, so nothing has been done other than I did start informing citizens we were going to move during early voting, but that's easily remedied by putting up a sign over at Quail Run saying it's back at the Rotan Club. So, so I would recommend that you please direct Mr. Popovich to undo what we did. Unfortunately, it's not necessarily forever, but we're not comfortable with doing it at this time. Thank you. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Roskill?
and we spent no money on the transition yet.
I'm sorry?
We spent no money on the transition yet.
That's correct.
It
We've
isn't
spent
like
no
it's
money
gonna
on it,
cost us anything.
just a little time.
So, Mr. Popovich, is that the procedure? Next meeting, we'd have a public hearing on,
Yes, sir. Under the Code of Virginia, counties can only change ordinance language if there is a public hearing and public notice issued. It's one of those idiosyncrasies of counties versus cities or towns. So you would end up having to have a public hearing to reenact the old version of the ordinance.
all right, is there a motion to schedule a public hearing at the June meeting to reinstate our old ordinance with Oakville as the voting place?
So moved.
Reverend Jones has made the motion. Is there a second? Mr. Wolfskill seconded. Discussion? All right, call the vote. Mr. Wolfskill. Mr. Hips. Mr. Simpson. Reverend Jones. I vote aye also. So the June Board of Supervisors meeting will include a public hearing changing back to the Oakville ordinance. All right. Thank you, Ms. Morton. All right, next up, Sheriff Richardson.
Thank you, Chairman, Board, for allowing me to speak tonight. First, I just want to address the Deputy Director. I think she left on her program. You know, I'm glad to see they're looking at doing some initiatives to help things out. I'm not sure what's in that program, but Spout Spring Road to me is a lot worse road than Stage Road coming on the 460. That's where more of our bad accidents happen at. So I hope they looked at that and redoing something. So if y'all do look at it, I would challenge you to look at that road to try to help it out if something can be done. I just want to come before y'all tonight, give you a few stats of where we're at since we're almost halfway through the year. Total calls for service, the deputies have responded to 4,425 calls this year. I just want to get into a little bit of the weeds. I usually come here and tell y'all that how many summonses wrote, things like that. I just want to show you and tell you exactly what they're actually investigating, more than the traffic summonses. And this is not all the complaints, but it's the big majority of the hunk of kind of violent stuff that we've been working this year. There's been 13 CPS, APS investigations, 3 contributing to the delinquency of a minor, 14 destruction of properties, 5 protective order violations, 29 larcenies and false pretense calls, 1 embezzlement, 4 firearm violations, 2 motor vehicle thefts, 2 strangulations, 2 malicious woundings, 2 fondlings, 10 sexual assaults, 2 sodomies, 4 rapes, and 23 child pornography cases we're actively investigating. So that's all just June of this year. They're putting in a lot of work. That's on top of having to respond to the other just normal everyday calls of day-to-day stuff, phone calls, something's in the middle of the road, you know, the minor stuff. This is just more the bulk of the big stuff they've been working on. So when citizens say, look, they're taking a little while to get here, it's 2 deputies. We're trying to get up to speed, back to full speed, and have 3 deputies working all times. But right now, it's usually only 2 out working. So we're battling with mental health on top of investigating these calls. So if they're taking a few minutes to get to you, it's not because they're just lollygagging around. They're actually doing stuff. And it's a lot of things going on in the county right now. The population's growing, which means the crime rate's growing, unfortunately. Any questions on those numbers?
Any questions for Sheriff?
I just want to go over one other thing. I just want to make sure before I get to the next thing, y'all get any questions on those stats. So one of the other things I wanted to go over, Mr. Hips, thank you talking to me, going over some scam stuff. We do have a recent scam that's going around that's a local thing. I just want to let everybody know, including everybody, all the citizens, there's a scam going around that somebody calls you and acts like a deputy from the sheriff's office. They're actually doing their homework, and they're using a name of one of the deputies that does work at the sheriff's office, and then they're making the phone number look like the 434-352-2666, the sheriff's office phone number. One thing I didn't realize until I was doing these scams talk, and everybody was saying this number is popping up, that number is a call-in number only. No, you can call into the sheriff's office, but that number cannot call out. So if that number shows up on your phone, it's automatically it's going to be a scam. When we call you, it shows up as a different number. I really don't want to give that number out because that's the number they'll start using when they figure out that's the number it's calling when it calls out. But if 352-2666 shows up on your phone, it's not us calling you. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Hips?
Yeah, I had mentioned to the sheriff about when he comes and does these presentations, just to mention different things that are actively ongoing, you know, little alerts or things like that. One of the things that prompted me, and I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, and I apologize if you don't know, just it's fine. One of the things that prompted me on that was just an educational concern for our constituents when you had this disgusting case in Lynchburg where this guy is filming people in bathrooms all through the community. And as a dad of 5 kids, and obviously, you know, wife too, that was very unsettling to me. And we had been to some of those locations, so of course, you know, I had seen where WSET had showed them putting like pen cameras in the bathrooms and things like that. But I mean, for this person to have done this many times, without being detected and for that, long of a time period. I'm like, what the heck is he doing or did he do that he's putting in these bathrooms that are things that normal people from the public could look out for? Do you know?
Well, yeah, sure, and honestly, they're so conspicuous now, it's hard to even say, but I mean, you can just, a receptacle, behind the receptacle that actually works, you plug it in, but behind it's a camera. So you would never truly even know.
So you're basically looking for a tiny lens in a bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, and some of them are so minute and small, you're just not gonna even tell. They make them into smoke alarms. It looks like a real smoke alarm up there. It works as a smoke alarm, but it's still got a camera in it. So there's so many covert cameras these days that it sucks, but you're in the world of maybe you should just take it home, try it on you at home, and if it doesn't fit, then you take it back and return it. Just kind of know that way. But unfortunately, we live in a cruel world. There's bad people, and they're doing these things and victimizing these people. So that's what I would do as a parent instead of letting my child change in a public facility like that.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Yeah, and the last thing, and the chairman spoke to me about, we were talking about the speed camera on 460. So just to show how that works, and I see Mr. Brown here from VDOT tonight, that's helping them out so much. When we did the study, it was 3,000 violations a day. Since we put the camera up and it's been active, it's 30 to 50 violations a day. So it went down from 3,000 to 30 or 50. It's doing its job, it's working. So if we can get it down from that much more and get it down to 5 or 6 or 0, then we've absolutely done our job, and this thing is doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Mr. Simpson?
So we're getting 22 tickets a day? Also, we're getting 22 tickets a day?
Yeah.
Current, okay, that adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Any other questions?
All right, thank y'all for y'all's time.
Thank you, Sheriff, for what you were, and your deputies.
Yep, thank you.
All right, next up is public hearing time. First item is public hearing on the VDOT secondary 6-year plan fiscal year 2027 through 2032. A duly advertised joint public hearing has been scheduled to receive comments in accordance with Code of Virginia, Section 33.1-701. Purpose of the public hearing is to review comments on a proposed 6-year plan for fiscal year 2027 through 2032 and on the secondary system construction budget for fiscal year 2027. All projects in the secondary 6-year plan that are eligible for federal funding will be included in the statewide transportation improvement plan, which documents how Virginia will obligate federal transportation funds. Robert Brown, a VDOT resident administrator, is present to address any questions and/or concerns. Recommendation is after receiving public comments and board discussion, please consider adopting the VDOT secondary 6-year plan for fiscal year 2027, 2032, and the secondary system construction budget for fiscal year 2027. And nobody signed up to speak, so Mr. Brown. What's your plan?
Well, the plan is exactly the same as when y'all had y'all's work session last month. It was presented. There have been no changes. There have been no changes in it, so I just asked that the board, if it would adopt this plan, and we'll move on.
Mr. Wolfskill.
Yes. I've had constituent call on Watts Mill Road. It's on, I can't tell what the 6-year plan is on the rural rustic priority draft list. Is that the 6-year?
We added Watts,
On the bottom there, yeah.
we added Watts Mill Road.
But I don't know if that's the 6-year plan or the farther out.
It's not in this. Watts Mill Road is on we added it to the rural rustic priority list.
Right.
There's the last road that is quite, technically, this list is not part of the 6-year plan. It is a holding list that we maintain for the board so that when we need a project to go into the 6-year plan, the board has already received requests for projects for rural rustics through your constituents, and this is a holding list
Gotcha.
until we need a project to go into the plan. So it was added to that list.
So there's no way we can bump it up to the 6-year?
Well, it's,
It's only a short 8/10 of a mile.
it is up to the board. You all on this list? Y'all have copies, y'all got copies of this.
That one, the rural rustic? Yeah, that's here.
Priority list.
Yes, sir.
We have prioritized Murray Place, Snaps Mill, and Bellevue Road. Those are the ones that have priority. Unless you change that priority, these, as we need plans, as we need projects, these will go into the revised 6-year plan in years to come. You see down below this, none of these have been prioritized.
Right.
So at some point, you could do it next year, or whenever you want to do it, you could prioritize these projects. At that time, if you all desire, you could do Watts Mill any way you want.
So,
But, you know,
So
these roads right here have been requested just like, just like your road.
okay.
But this is y'all's list. You can do anything you want to with it.
And what does the address mean? There's an address on Watts Mill and Wagon Wheel.
That means that request came from the board supervisor. So
Okay.
that's what
Mr.
Mr. Simpson?
Mr. Brown, I see about roughly 4 miles of unpaved that we have, maybe give or take, in this list. Is the way that these projects are done and the way that VDOT, I guess, when these are actually built, is it the county doing the engineering and paying a contractor and everything, or is that all done by
this is
VDOT?
all VDOT.
Okay.
State Forest Construction.
Do we have a cost share requirement for any of this if we just let VDOT do it on their
No,
6-year
these-
plans?
These are, if you look at your plan, these are funded through VDOT secondary road construction fund.
Okay.
That's what funds us right here, and these right here, just to give you an idea of it, we have 2 types of funding for unpaved roads. We have designated district grant unpaved road funds. We have to spend them on unpaved roads. We also have another funding source for secondary roads, and that is the telecommunication fees that VDOT receives for sharing and allowing utilities on our right of way. This money right here can be used on unpaved roads, but it's not always used on unpaved roads, because we fund a lot of our other stuff, like signs, secondary road signs, and sometimes we have to do a little improvement on a curb or something. We'd like to keep some money in this for traffic services. This money right here, and right now in FY '27, we get about $81,000 a year, district grant unpaid road money. It's nothing to what it used to be. I mean, we used to have a big program. But you gotta remember, we don't have a whole lot of unpaved roads left in Appomattox County, considering as many as have been done in the last 25, 30 years. So it's bad that we don't get any more money than that, but it's good in a sense, because it's a lot of roads have been parked over the last 3 years.
In this plan, if we were to do it at state budget and VDOT pace as it is this like a 20-year, probably we'll have it done, or is it?
Right now, our costs are running between $200,000 and $300,000 per mile to build a rural rustic unpaved road.
Mhm.
And that number varies depending on whether we have to replace drainage structures. Just a simple water surface put out to the stone is close to the 200. If I get into drainage structures, it may go over 300. That's kind of how we gauge it.
Mhm. So I guess the only other way to get it done quicker than multiple decades timeline would be the county to fund it, right? Because that would be about $1 million. This is about $1 million worth of road, I guess.
I haven't had a county that wanted to go into funding
No.
a road program. But if you ever did want to entertain that, you probably need to go through a revenue sharing application, try to get some VDOT match money,
Uh-huh.
the revenue sharing program. That still works. someone put up 50% funding and
Would there be any, based on that, the $200,000 a mile figure or thereabout, would there be any economy of scale or efficiency if we were to do all of it at once? Would you save on like mobilization or something, or since it's
No, this is
all different
well,
roads?
right now, this is all state force construction. We do not, we use some hired equipment, but as far as bidding contracts out and doing this, we do not do
Okay,
it. That would cost us, a lot.
sure. Thank you, thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Hibbs?
Hey, I've been waiting for you to come back. Just a question for you on, not related to this, but the very bad intersection with Sheets, 460 in Stonewall or 460 in Village Highway, whatever you want to say there. Just the frequency of accidents is really high. And so that's not Appomattox County, obviously, Campbell County, but still. I know. But still, it concerns the region, concerns our county. It's our people running through there too. I'm just curious, data-wise, is there a specific pattern that's causing most of the accidents? Is it people making the left onto Stonewall? Do you know?
Most of the accidents up there have been illegal crashes, and because people do not properly understand.
So that's making the left from 460 onto Stonewall then?
Well, either way, either coming from 460 east west to 24 or 460.
The one across, right, yeah, okay.
That is where most of the collisions are occurring, or some of them are occurring, but they're still angle crashes. People do right on red.
Right.
And pull out in front of them.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know.
Right.
You cannot pull out in front of them.
Yeah. It would.
No kidding.
Yeah. No, it's true. And I don't want to limit the ability to make the turns on flashing yellow, but we did used to have flashing yellow there. That wasn't an option. I liked it when that option opened up, but I just don't know how badly it's contributing to accidents.
If this becomes bad enough, put the trips out there.
Yeah.
We can always eliminate.
Is any of this under recording? Can you guys pick this up? Yeah, you need to go back to the, sorry about that.
That's all right. If we did away with that, and I would have to talk to our traffic engineers, but from what I see, that's what's happening. But if we did away with that flashing, that permitted left turn on flashing yellow, it's gonna increase the time.
Right.
And that's what everybody don't like, is too much time.
Yeah.
So you kinda gotta
Yeah. No, I like the
sacrifice a
option.
little something if you wanted to do that, which, but, if that's a concern, I mean, we did make some improvements last year. We kind of created a right turn, coming from 24 to where people could make a right on red. That has helped a lot.
Yeah.
With, reducing, queue, or reducing, people sitting in line.
Yeah. Well, just to be clear, I'm not suggesting a solution necessarily. I'm just asking questions. And, I just know it's a dangerous intersection with a high frequency of accidents. And so, I'd be supportive of whatever data there is, but.
Yeah. And I understand where you're coming from. I don't know what we can do about it unless we prohibit that
Yeah.
caution left on the arrow.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Got another question for you, not related to this, though. I remember several times the VDOT coming down the rural roads with a mower that's facing this way and trimming the trees and stuff back. And I haven't seen them do that in my area in several years, and we got places where the trees are now right up to the edge of the blacktop, the branches and that, and anytime you get a curve especially, it's hard to see oncoming traffic when all you can see is brush. And I was wondering was there a routine schedule that you did that on, or?
Well, typically, yes and no. Typically, we try to do all of our preventative maintenance, base it off of our paving schedules. Like when we turn in a surface treatment schedule to resurface the secondary roads, that is generally what we go by to fix any drainage issues, to cut brush. But that's kind of changed because we used to get 40 or 50 miles of surface treatment every year in Appomattox County. Now we might get 5 or 6, so that's kind of fell by the wayside. But if you have specific roads, if you would get me those roads, I will certainly, see where when we'll be there, because we try to do it in areas instead of doing a road here, doing a road there. If we go into an area, we like to do it all, and maybe they just haven't gotten back around to your area.
Well, the area I know particularly is on Evergreen Road, just south of where Cub Creek comes in, down just before you get to the 638 Wheeler Spring. And then on Wheeler Spring, just east of the Cub Creek Bridge, there's an area along there where the brush is right out to the edge of the pavement, and it makes it hard to see coming up on Cub Creek Bridge.
Okay. Wheeler Springs and Evergreen Road?
Yep.
Well, like I said, when we move down there, we should cut every road down there. I mean, because if you go picking and choosing, I cut this road, well, the one beside it needs cutting, so we need to cut them all.
Yeah, I understand.
We need to cut them all while we're there.
Anything else, Ms. Brown? Ms. Simpson?
I get 2 questions for you. In terms of how you guys manage your right-of-way use by third parties, is that pretty much anything recent, I guess, in the last decade or so? Is that all in GIS or a mapping system?
How we manage the right-of-way?
Yeah, like what's in the right-of-way, whether it's water, sewer, or communications? Like right-of-way use applications and things?
The only roads that might be marked on would be if it were in-plan work, like the new street, the new 131, that courthouse road project. When that was built, if it was a planned job, it would have the utilities located on there.
Okay, so it would be based on going back and finding the CUP associated with it, and it's not necessarily in a central, I just didn't know if there was a mapping system that we.
No, I do not know of a mapping system. See, VDOT, it would be more plan specific, like on a set of road construction plans, like if you went back and looked on the old 460 Appomattox bypass plans, where we tied everything in, it should have the location of, that would be the most closest thing to as-built plans that we would have to show location of any underground utilities, storm drains, anything like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, just, that was curiosity. The second point, a few months ago, this was probably January, December, Mr. David Elder had reached out to me in town. He owns a barber shop. I forget the street name, if any of you guys know it, but right behind Main Street. And the last few times it stormed, water has actually entered his shop and has ruined his floor a couple times. And I think it's a stormwater backup and drainage issue. But I didn't know if that would be the town or if that would be, I think that's a VDOT street.
Well, that is a VDOT maintained street, and we have worked with him in years past. But I don't know, certainly we could look at that again and take another look at the hydrology. But you got to understand where he's at. He's in the drainage area. And if you get a tremendous rain. You know, if you get a downpour and you get 4 or 5 inches of rain in a few hours, he's gonna always have a problem, because there's no storm drain that we've got that's gonna accommodate that type of, storm runoff. Now, just a normal, ordinary rain, he doesn't have any problems. But I really don't know that we can look at it and see what the options are, but, well, you know where he's located
Yep.
at. And, like I said, when you get a downpour, and especially if you go classify it by a certain year of storm, like, I mean, most of our secondary road projects, we design to a 10-year storm. Well, you get 4 or 5 inches of rain in an hour or two, that's not a 10-year storm, that's a 25, 30, 50-year storm. So, but we certainly would like to, we have looked at that situation before, but we'll follow up and take a look at it again if you'd like for it.
And
to.
if there's anything, you know, we need to do, because we own the library across the street, if there's something that's materially changed about that parking lot or any of the adjoiners that has caused water to pool there, you know, we'd be interested to hear what we might be able to do to prevent it from happening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else?
So,
Mr. Wilsko?
on this Watts Mill thing, is there or is there not a way to move that up on the list?
Pardon?
On that Watts Mill Road, is there or is there not a way to move that up on the list?
The board, that is y'all's priority list. I'll put in, whatever priority you and your board members select, that's what I'm gonna go by. It doesn't matter to me which one how y'all prioritize it. I'm gonna work the plan based on y'all's priority.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfsko, if I can add some history here. All of these placements are direct results of, I can think of different people for the different roads. Complaints, many years worth of complaints, people showing up to meetings on the night that he was coming, to, through years past, to specifically state their concern for these roads. So to answer that question, I think, you know, could you put it as we have 1, 2, and 3 on this rural rustic priority list. I mean, you could make a number 4 or something if you wanted to, but to be in those 1, 2, and 3 places, even off of the 6-year list, is based on, you know, like, for example, number 1, we put that on there, Reverend Jones and I, because of the number of complaints for that one.
And the same way with Bellevue Road, the number of complaints that I got on that road.
So I think the shorter answer is it would be difficult for us to reprioritize when those are already the result of numerous complaints.
Okay. I just needed to ask.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Simpson?
I'll first ask Ms. Adams for the possibility of doing this, and then for board concurrence if we think it's not a horrible idea. So, you know, it's 2026, rural roads, the fact that we have constituents living and having to deal with unpaved roads in this era is kind of hard for me to swallow, especially when there's so little that's left. Before I even propose us trying to speed it up to where it's not on a multi-decade timeline by potentially talking to VDOT and saying we'd be willing to request a grant and we'll fund some portion of it, I would be curious to know the number of county residents that live on each of these segments or that are impacted. So could we pull that from 911 or from our GIS to know how many addresses are on those roads?
I was thinking with your computer skills that you have and all the data that you collect, you
It's-
could do it like that quick.
I could probably do it in about an hour, but that's an hour I need to spend paying my mortgage and.
Well, so do other people.
In conjunction with that, I will say that we have residents contact us and they don't want their roads.
That's right.
Right, it'd be good to know that too.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
I think it's something that we could help speed along if we put some effort into it and figuring out which ones are people most passionate about getting paved and are impacting people the most. And then maybe there's some other ones that we want to deprioritize or not do. But I'd like to see a little bit of, maybe a couple hours of staff research just to tell us what we might want to do. But
Also, Mr. Brown, is this the comprehensive list of all unpaved roads left in the county?
No,
No.
no, there are additional routes.
So we're
though.
not just talking this.
This
They're not,
isn't-
there are
this
additional
isn't
roads
even the
that not
6-year
on this
plan.
list.
That's just the second
Yeah.
to the sixth.
There's a lot.
Would you all like for me to get you a list of the remaining unpaved roads in
That'd be
Appomattox County?
Yeah,
So y'all can,
that would be helpful.
Mr. Brown, am I correct in the understanding that all the roads are owned by VDOT? All the public roads, or maintained or operated by, there is no,
no,
there is
no,
no municipality and.
if it is a primary or secondary road,
What I'm getting at is I don't want to try to invent a new system where our county gets involved in paving some roads.
well, it's,
I just don't think that's something that the taxpayers are burdened enough. We don't need to go down another route.
I agree with you from a fiscal conservancy standpoint, but we also do have an obligation to spend money to improve or provide service to the county. And if there are certain routes that are particularly impactful, that we could provide a small amount, relatively small amount of funding to speed up by multiple decades or a
Mr.
decade.
Simpson, it's not a small amount.
possible.
It's $300,000 a mile. It's not a small amount.
And we spend hundreds of thousands on other things. Like, we spent $100,000
Okay.
on the FFA the other week, and a road is a comparable thing, is my only point.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Hips.
in the interest of moving forward,
You're making
I
a
would make
motion.
a motion that we adopt the secondary six-year plan for fiscal years 27 to 32, and the secondary system construction budget for the fiscal year 27. If I can make those as a,
Is there a second? Second. Reverend Jones is seconded. Motion been made and seconded to adopt the VDOT secondary six-year plan for fiscal year 2027 to 2032 and secondary system construction budget for fiscal year 2027. Discussion. Vote. Mr. Wuskill. Mr. Hips.
Aye.
Mr. Simpson.
Aye.
Reverend Jones.
Aye.
I vote aye also. We have an approved plan. Thank you.
Got your money's worth tonight.
And coming from us. All right, next up is a public hearing on Chapter 3 Administration, Article 7, Taxation and Fees, Division 5, Exemption for Elderly and Disabled Person. A duly advertised public hearing has been scheduled to receive comments on a proposed amendment to the Appomattox Code, Chapter 3, Administration, Article 7, Taxation and Fees, Division 5, Exemption for Elderly and Disabled Persons, specifically proposed Amendment 3.7-12, exemption on certain real estate, subsection A, parentheses 1, and A, parentheses 2, related to the total combined maximum income would increase from $35,000 to $45,000 with maximum financial worth of $175,000. Also, Section 3.7-12, parentheses C, grant of exemption, calculation of amount, change in financial situation. A tax relief would apply as follows: 0 to 35,000 income, 100% relief with a cap of $600. 35,001 to 40,000 income, a 75% relief with a cap of $450. And $40,001 to 45,000 income, 50% relief with a cap of $300. After receiving public comments and board discussion, please consider adopting the ordinance that has been prepared for you. Nobody signed up to speak. Anybody want to speak? All righty. Discussion with the board? Or a motion to adopt? Mr. Wolfskill's made a motion to adopt the prepared ordinance. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Hips has seconded. Discussion? Are you going to say something, Reverend Jones, or just getting ready?
I'm just kidding.
All right, we'll call the vote. Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Hips? Mr. Wolfskill? I vote aye also. The ordinance for increasing the amount of tax exemption has been approved. Next up, action item FY 2027 County Consolidated Budget. After being duly advertised, a public hearing was held on Monday, May 11th to receive public comment on the proposed FY 2027 Consolidated County School and Social Services Budget. Recommendation: adopt the FY 2027 consolidated budget is duly advertised in the amount of $60,567,184. Is there a motion to do such?
So moved.
Reverend Jones has moved. Mr. Wolfskill seconded. Discussion? Call the vote. Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Hips? Mr. Wolfskill? I vote aye also. The county budget has been adopted for FY 2027. Next up, tax levy resolution. After being duly advertised, a public hearing is held on Thursday, April 30th to receive public comment on the proposed real estate tax, and Monday, May 11th, 2026 to receive comment on the proposed FY 2027 budget and tax levies. Attached for the board's approval is a resolution adopting the tax levies for the 2026 tax year. Shouldn't that be 2027? No, 2026 tax year. Staff recommends adopting the resolution for the 2026 calendar tax year levies. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Reverend Jones has moved to adopt the resolution on the tax levy. Is there a second? Mr. Wolfskill seconded. Discussion? Hearing none, vote. Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Hips?
No.
Mr. Wolfskill? Vote no also. But we have the tax levy set.
Just a point of clarification.
Yes.
You adopt this tax levy, it's not for the budget year. When you get your tax tickets in June, it goes back to the assessment of January 1. It's different, it doesn't cycle with it.
Got it. I don't think I put budget year in there. I just said.
No, I just wanted to make sure because it is confusing.
All right. Okay, next up, resolution for personal property tax relief program. In accordance with the requirements set forth in the Code of Virginia for the personal property tax relief program, qualifying vehicles situated within a county commencing January 1, 2012, and will receive personal property tax relief. The 2026 PPTRA tax relief is 23.9% for personal vehicles valued at $1,000 to $1,001 to $20,000. Staff recommends adoption of the 2026 Personal Property Tax Relief Program resolution per recommendation of the Commissioner of Revenue. Is there a motion to adopt the personal property tax relief?
So moved.
Reverend Jones has moved to adopt it. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Simpson's seconded the motion. Discussion? All right. Take a vote. Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Hips? Mr. Wolfskill? I vote aye also to adopt the 2026 Personal Property Tax Relief Program as resolution as submitted. Who is the Kappa Sigma Endowment Fund? Anyway, resolution of the Scottsville Road Holding LLC, Kappa Sigma Endowment Fund, the Economic Development Authority of Appomattox County, Virginia, EDA, in coordination with Kappa Sigma Endowment Fund and Scottsville Road Holdings LLC, the borrower, with assistance from legal firm Sands Anderson, agreed for the EDA to issue pursuant to the Virginia Industrial Development and Revenue Bond Act up to $10 million principal amount to qualify for nonprofit revenue bonds to assist the borrower in expansion of its national headquarters and museum facility located adjacent to 1622 Scottsville Road in Albemarle County, Virginia. As required by the Act, the bonds will not constitute a debt or pledge of the faith and credit of the Commonwealth of Virginia or any political subdivision therein, including the EDA and the County of Appomattox. Neither the Commonwealth nor any political subdivision, therefore, including the EDA and Appomattox County, shall be obligated to pay the bonds or the interest therein or the cost instant thereof, except from the revenues and monies received from the borrower and pledged therefor, and neither the faith and credit nor the taxing power of the Commonwealth nor the political subdivision thereof, including EDA and Appomattox County, will be pledged to the payment of the principal of interest of such bonds or other cost incidents thereto. The EDA held a public hearing at its April regular meeting. No one spoke at the public hearing. The EDA adopted the appropriate resolutions at the time, and now the board must also pass a resolution approving the financing and issuing of bonds. The chairman of the EDA will be present if you have questions. I don't see the chairman of the EDA. Please consider adoption of the resolution prepared by legal counsel of Sands Anderson related to financing with the expansion of the national headquarters and museum facilities for Kappa Sigma.
So, Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Simpson.
If I may, I don't know if everyone knows this, but I served on the county EDA in 2019 to 2020, and we had a similar resolution come up when I was on there, and I think I'm noticing from some of y'all questions of what the heck is this, and I asked the same thing when I saw it. Why are we underwriting a bond for someone else? It was explained to me that there is some benefit, whether tax or structural, whatever, to where private entities will use public entities in Virginia and EDAs as a conduit, but state law is explicit in that we are not liable, the EDA is not liable if they were to default, and it's essentially a pass-through. And there is some benefit to the EDA. Ms. Adams, is it a small financial benefit? So it costs us nothing, and the only time we have to think about it is literally right now and the little bit of staff time that it takes to process their payment. But my biggest question in any of this was, are we liable for it? And the answer to that's no. And by that, I'll make the motion to accept it.
All right, since has made the motion to approve the resolution for this bond, is there a second?
Second.
Reverend Jones has made a second. Further discussion? Call the vote. Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Mr. Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Hips? Aye. Mr. Wolfskill? I vote aye also. So the resolution is approved as prepared by Council Sands Anderson for the financing of the expansion of the national headquarters and museum facilities for Kappa Sigma. I can't believe it, I'm funding a sorority. December, next up, December 21st, 2026, regular scheduled board meeting. Considering rescheduling the December 2026 board meeting currently scheduled during the week of Christmas. Staff recommends approval of rescheduling of the December 2026 board meeting and authorize staff to advertise. Mr. Hips, what were your ideas on that?
Yeah, I just, we missed it when we were approving the calendar. Meetings in the week of Christmas are hectic. We've done it before. It's hectic for county staff. And I won't be here on the 21st, so if you guys want to do it without me, that's fine. I would suggest December 14th, the Monday previous, so the second Monday. So my motion will be to change the meeting to December 14th, 2026.
Is there a second?
Second.
Reverend Jones is seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, call the vote. Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Hips?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfskill? I vote aye also. December meeting will be advertised and rescheduled for the 14th of December. Committee appointments. Next up, Economic Development Authority appointment. At the April 20th meeting, the board appointed Mr. Nash to serve on the EDA. Subsequently, Mr. Nash withdrew acceptance. Please consider appointing a representative to fill the unexpired term of Mr. Watkins Abbott, which expires on December 31st, 2026. The Economic Board Authority voted unanimously and recommends the appointment of Mr. Faber B. Jamerson Sr. Staff recommends we appoint a representative to fill the unexpired term of Mr. Watkins Atkins. Is there any motions?
I'll make that motion.
All right, Mr. Attorney, I want to do this right. Do we need a recommendation to appoint, or recommend nomination and then an appointment, or can we go direct to appointment? Since there's only one person.
If there's only one name, it's just make a motion to make the appointment. With a second, as usual.
All right, Reverend Jones made the motion to appoint Mr. Faber B. Jamerson Sr. to fill the unexpired term of Mr. Watkins' absence on the EDA. Mr. Wolfkill has seconded that. Any further discussion? Call the vote. Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Reverend Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Hips? Mr. Wolfkill? I vote aye also. All right, Library Board of Trustees. At the June meeting, please consider appointment or reappointment of Ms. Evelyn Ford, Courthouse District Representative, and Ms. Madeline Abbott, Piney Mountain District Representative, to serve on the Library Board of Trustees with terms ending June 30th of 2029. No action till June meeting. That's just a heads up for you guys. Also, Central Virginia Community College on June 30th, the current term appointment of Dr. Jeffrey Garrett, as approved by the Appomattox County on the CVCC board, will expire. Dr. Garrett is completing his second consecutive four-year term. Therefore, he's not eligible for reappointment at this time. Please note that no selected member of either the General Assembly, the Appomattox County Board of Supervisors, or past full-time employee of Central Virginia Community College is eligible to serve on the college board. Staff recommendation, no action. At the June meeting, consider the appointment of a representative to serve on the CVCC board for a four-year term ending June 30th, 2030. And before the meeting, Mr. Lannis Seltz was sitting out there, and I kind of tweaked his ear because he has served on that board in the past, but I don't know if he will step up or not. So, Mr. Simpson.
I have an individual who might be interested. He used to work at CVCC, and he was a 30-year educator, worked in career and technical education, and he just actually retired. And he worked at the state DOE too, so I could reach out to him.
Doesn't it say that he's ineligible?
Yep, he's ineligible.
Huh?
Yeah, he's ineligible. He can't run again.
No,
No, did I read it wrong? Is not eligible.
is eligible. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, he wouldn't be eligible.
No,
You said he was an employee of CVCC.
he used to be.
Yeah, that makes him ineligible.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not tracking something.
Yeah, it's in the explanation.
A past full-time employee of Central Virginia Community College is eligible, it says.
I read this as not today. So.
I would imagine it's not.
Yeah,
Or it says is.
Yeah, please note that no elected member of the General Assembly, the Board of Supervisors, or a past employee is eligible. So,
I see.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
yeah. All right, so you got something to think about for next month. Consent agenda. The consent agenda includes approval of bills, minutes, supplemental appropriation, line item transfers, fund transfers. Any item in the consent agenda shall be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any board member prior to the vote on consent agenda. The items removed from the consent agenda shall be considered by the board of individually in order which they were removed from the consent agenda immediately following the consideration of the consent agenda. I practice that during the week. All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted, or is there changes to it?
So moved.
Reverend Jones has moved to accept the consent agenda as submitted. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, the consent agenda is accepted as submitted. Attorney's report. Are we going to wait till your
I have nothing at
closed
this
session?
time. Yes.
All right, administrative report, Ms. Adams.
Yes, sir, you have a copy of the report before you. There are a couple of things I'd like to point out. First of all, when we present the appropriations resolution in June, it's not going to be equal to the amount that you adopted this evening, but that's not unusual because we haven't gotten our final numbers from the state as far as the Department of Social Services, constitutional offices, and the school. So just making you aware of, it will be a little different than what was adopted this evening. And also our March interest earnings on the LGIP, we're still at 3.76%. A year ago, we were at 4%. So to date, our interest earnings since July of 25 is $762,592. And one more item under the animal control, you have a flyer in front of you about the event in June. So if I have any volunteers that would like to serve hot dogs, please let me know. Any questions? You have a lot of data in front of you to absorb.
Any questions for the county administrator? Okay, hearing none, then we have reports and informational items, school financial report. How about supervisors' concern? It's time for individual board members to share information with other members of the board and the public. Items presented heading require action will be at future meetings at the agenda or to request additional information from staff members. No items presented under this heading shall be acted upon at this meeting without unanimous consent.
Mr. Chairman, I have a letter. May I
Okay,
read?
Reverend Jones, yes.
Yes. May 11, 2026, Ms. Susan Adams, Appomattox County Administrator, Appomattox County Board of Supervisors, the Honorable Luther Cyphers, dear friends, on behalf of William E. Bill Jamerson's family, we wish to express our appreciation to Susan Adams and the Appomattox County Board of Supervisors for the resolution passed in memory of Bill at the last Board of Supervisors meeting. We also thank Senator Cyphers for his kind remarks and presentation of the Virginia state flag, which flew over the Capitol building in Richmond, Virginia. Bill served one term on the Appomattox board and contributed to the community in numerous ways, as well as building a successful construction business. He is greatly missed by his family, friends, and colleagues. Thank you again for this honor in his memory. Sincerely, Ellen Jamerson and family.
Thank you for reading that, Reverend Jones. Any other comments? Mr. Simpson, comments?
No, I think I'm good.
Mr. Wolfskill?
I do have a comment, nothing I guess we can do anything about, but I really believe that we were a little hasty in removing the countywide burn ban. It is very dry. I ride my horse over hundreds of acres of forest land, places where there's water all the time, have no water. The gentleman that I buy my hay from, he himself and another farmer both started hay fields on fire while mowing hay because the blades hit rocks. And one of them, the fire company had to come out. So we had one little rain at the beginning of the month, and then we took off the fire ban. And I see there's rain coming next week, maybe. I don't know if we can reinstate or even want to reinstate a ban, but I just wanted to share that I think we were hasty on that. And if we want to do something, we can.
Mr. Chairman,
Ms.
if I
Simpson.
may deviate from the rules for a moment, just based on the importance of that issue. I concur with Mr. Wolfskill. My brother actually didn't speak to me at a dinner we had a couple weeks ago because he said he was so upset about us repealing the fire ban and how likely or the conditions are for fires. I would ask, we're all here, our Director of Emergency Management is here. What are the thoughts on reinstating until the drought, there's a state level drought map that we could base it on when we allow open burning again.
Mr. Van Noy, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Point of order.
Mr. Hips.
For us to consider that, we need to agree as a board to add it, and then we can vote on it.
If we're to declare it as a board, but by Ms. Adams's authority, she could also just declare it.
Okay.
Director of Emergency Management. Well, I would like to say the reason that we brought that recommendation back to the board to release that date was recommendation from the fire departments contacted you, Mr. Benoit? Yeah. So that's why we enacted to undo the ban.
It's no less dry now than it was. I mean, it's worse. I would ask to reinstate it, just for safety. It's not worth the risk. I don't know how, well, however we have to do that.
Is there a unanimous concurrence? I mean, I'm in full support. If they already provided their recommendation and it was to repeal it previously, then I'm willing
I mean,
to explain to them why we're reinstating it.
Even an inch of rain next week isn't gonna, I mean, the gentleman I buy my hay from has been farming for his whole life and his parents before that, and I know other farmers, and there's like virtually no first cutting hay this year. The grass just isn't growing. People are selling their cows, and I will restate, the land I ride through, there's places where there's always standing water, there's always, it's all dry when I ride through it with my horse, it raises dust.
Mr. Van Noy, how many brush fire calls have we been on since the ban was lifted? Well, as I understand it, Ms. Adams, you and Mr. Mavoy can issue without our action.
Yes. It will take an action to adopt the resolution, but we can go ahead and enact it and reaffirm it.
So county administrator and Mr. Van Noy can put one in place, and then we can pass the resolution at the June meeting, because we don't have a resolution written right now.
At the risk of being pedantic, Ms. Adams, could you please, on your discretion, if you believe it to be advised, could you please consider by statement declaring a burn ban?
And I'll say we typically use the stats from the Department of Forestry anyway. They actually have ranges that are red, orange, yellow, and we use that as a guide. And I'm pretty confident that we're in the upper orange or even red, into the red stage.
Thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Hips, any?
No, sir.
I don't have a concern, but I'd just like to say that having come from a state where we had county road commissions that handled all the county roads, that I'm not in favor of Appomattox getting into the road business. But that's just my statement.
Mr.
Alrighty.
Chairman,
Mr. Roskill?
Where I live in Pennsylvania, they have state, county, township. So there's all kinds
Yeah,
of.
yeah, we had township roads too in Michigan too, yeah. It was a mess. All right, the next upcoming meeting is Monday, June 15th, 2026 at 6 PM, right here, regular scheduled meeting right here. At this time, I move that the board enter a closed session for the limited purpose of consultation with legal counsel regarding actual litigation where such discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the county negotiation and litigating posture reflected to the Region 2000 pursuant to Section 2.2-3711, parentheses A, parentheses 7. Is there a second?
Second.
Reverend Jones is seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, let's go